After a year of talk and preparation, today Trevor and I set sail out of Bellingham Bay. It was a day gushing with emotions, a tipping point where the anticipating fears of mega seas, storms, and ultimately sailing into unknown waters were at their highest. Before untying Sea Dream from the dock, I found a patch of soil and sat next to a tree on land that I know is home. In the last 2 days, I sold my van, bikes, motorcycle, and stowed the rest of my belongings in a 3x12-foot row in a friend's storage unit. Sitting on that triangle of earth between the parking spaces at the marina, I called my mom and asked for her prayers. Hearing the reflections of her words transformed my emotions into courage and peace. We were nothing less than ready to be done working overtime, running errands, and getting stuck in the ever-growing traffic. Although many had given their caution of the risks of going to sea, not one has denied that this is an opportunity of a lifetime, and one that both Trevor and I wanted to begin while we were still young.
Underway out of Bellingham. Real gentle breeze. We'll see where we get this evening. There's a few spots not too far away, and there's a 10-mile spot, and a 15-mile spot, and a 20-mile spot. There's also a 5-mile spot. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I've been on the boat for about an hour now, and we've made it probably like 2 miles. Oh,
not bad.
Not too shabby.
We gotta be calmed. But the forecast said they're supposed to win, so let's wait. See what happens here. Might be going to plan H. Lopez Island would be plan H, perhaps.
H?
I'd like to make plan A, B, C, and so on.
And Eliza was not on
it. Wasn't even on the list. See how now we're turning back towards Bellingham. Uh-oh. Sailing Sea Dream McLeod style. Baby.
The wind never did come up, so we anchored on the south side of Chuckanut Bay. As we entered Chuckanut, our friend Sharon came up on her paddleboard and ended up inviting us out for dinner, so we jumped in the dinghy and headed into town.
Good morning. We're on day 2 of the big journey. We're waking up in Chuckanut Bay. It's quite foggy out, but just starting to lift. It's a little after 8. We don't necessarily have tides or currents in our favor, but yeah, a beautiful morning. I feel the change of seasons up here. So I look forward to continuing south.
It's time to go south.
Alright, we're out into the big part of Bellingham Bay now, out of Chuckanut Bay, in the fog. And we got this cool little gizmo here. Eco Blast it's called. Not wanting to buy a bunch of like throwaway canisters. I saw this and thought that's pretty cool. So it pumps up with a bicycle pump that came with. Let's give it a little try here. Every 2 minutes. That's loud. Well, it's a cool morning here around Bellingham, just south of Bellingham. Coming up on Samish Island, and Horace is in the distance. I can kind of see it. And pretty good sailing here. We've been moseying along around 3 knots most of the time, 3.5. Current is supposed to be coming up against us, so we'll see what happens with that. There's a few spots we could pull over and anchor for a while, let the current mellow out. But we'll see how it goes, see if the wind picks up and we can paddle against it. There's a pelican guiding us to San Francisco. Hey, pelican! That's cool, I just saw a pelican fly by. I think that's a really good sign, because we're going to the land of the pelicans. There are populations of them in British Columbia, so it could be one of them. Sometimes there are just random ones that hang out here for the summer.
Random.
Yeah. So after some very gentle sailing for the morning, we have flicked on the engine. So we're gonna power for a bit and hope the wind comes up. If the current comes up strong against us, we'll anchor and wait. Just not having much luck with wind the last 2 days so far. After a bunch of windy days while we were in town. That's usually how it works, I think. a brief moment of quarter-mile fog there. Lots of traffic, including a guy like raging full speed through it. We switched to motoring because it was probably not a good idea to tack back and forth across the busy channel in thick fog. So we'll just keep motoring here while the engine's on around the point. So just tacking back and forth along the edge of the fog bank here, trying to stay out of it as long as we can where there's all this traffic. Around the corner there is the anchorage I mentioned that we might go check out. So stand by, see what happens.
And we have ourselves a really nice little fog bow over there. Very, very poor visibility.
Okay, we busted out of the fog here, right near Lopez Island, and there's definitely some fog banks out yonder, but we're just contemplating the possibility of still making it to Port Townsend today. So. All right, we made it to Awhile Bay here on Lopez Island. It's gorgeous, picked up a mooring ball, and gonna go to shore and go chill. Woohoo! Yeah, the fog banks out in the strait were not dissipating, and while the wind did naturally pick up as soon as we got to the bay here, it just didn't feel like heading out at 5 o'clock and carrying on into the darkness basically by the time we get to Port Townsend. So we'll do it in the morning instead, and hopefully the fog pieces out. But in the meantime, we're gonna go and enjoy walking around and having a early night. So we're here on Lopez Island, observing the fog we avoided. It was the right choice to just come to anchor and enjoy this beautiful place and a beautiful bay. I'm sure we'll have a peaceful, good sleep. Get up bright and early and work the tides in the morning, assuming this fog is burnt off. While we were sitting here, the fog started dissipating quite rapidly out in the strait. You can see Smith Island, which is probably an old moraine, glacial moraine there. Just a sandbar on a small island. And a few ships, and the fog just piecing out, and the wind coming up. But we're gonna go back and be cozy in the boat now. You in the background eating an apple.
Uh-huh.
Good morning from Awhile, off of Lopez Island.
It was a nice calm night here. We tied to a mooring ball, and usually I don't like mooring balls because they hit the hull sometimes, and it did. So I asked Kat to not let me.
We won't do that again unless we have to.
Yeah, unless we have to, or there's a solid breeze that will keep us from hitting the thing. Anyways, it's a beautiful morning here. It's calm. There is fog, but it's quite thin, and the sun's shining, so we're going to get underway here. There's no wind at all. We're going to motor across with the tide in her favor. Okay, bye.
Alright, so that was some thick fog back there. It's kind of starting to dissipate here. It's just this thin layer like yesterday. Maybe it's 50 feet, maybe 100 feet thick. Right on top of the water. We can see the Olympic Mountains now though, and now I can see probably about 3 miles to port and a mile ahead, and aiming for Smith Island. And then if the fog rolls back in on us, we'll anchor and wait there. Otherwise, we'll continue. We're cruising up to Port Townsend now, just a few miles out. We got good current in our favor. We're cruising along at 7 knots. Bit of boat traffic, lots of sailboats and whatnot coming into Port Townsend, probably for the same thing we are doing. Check out the boat festival. But it's such a beautiful day out here, and of course there is a breeze kicking up as we approach port, but that's kind of tradition. So not a bad day, and good to run the engine for a while, make sure everything's happy there, and as always it is. Beautiful morning.
Port Townsend treated us so well with many friends and last-minute shopping needs, but with all the hustle and bustle, we didn't get much filming in. If you'd like to learn more about the famous Wooden Boat Festival, check out the links below.
Alright, we're just getting set to leave here. Kat's visiting a friend on shore briefly, and then we're going to join the sail past on our way out of Port Townsend here. So fun timing, the tide's turning in our favor now, and there's, I don't know, 50 sailboats sailing around right now. I've never sailed in a crowd like this, so it should be a good time. We'll maybe do a couple tacks back and forth with all these boats.
The sail goodbye with all of these amazing sailboats, leaving Port Townsend and still en route to Nia Bay. A beautiful way to leave our friends and to keep on questing on. So really fun. There's some really sweet boats out here.
Yeah, this is super fun. I've never ever done anything like this. I feel like the most boats I've been around has been like 3 sailboats at once, maybe 5. It's just really cool. So we're just gonna do another little buzz through here, and then we'll harden up sail and start tacking the Dungeness Spit.
Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. Out of Port Townsend here, and raging in a really nice westerly that's kicked up. That was super fun back there, and now we're on our way to Dungeness Spit. as you saw, was wicked fun sailing. We reefed, the wind was howling amongst all those boats. And as soon as we got around the corner into the Strait of Waterfuca, where you'd expect the wind to be a little more robust, and that's why we were reefing, and I was about to reef the Genoa, and then, yeah, I just did this. Back to chill Dream of Clyde sailing.
Yeah, I kind of want to go back to that. That was fun.
Yeah, way too fun.
Yeah, but we'll have more fun out there, and we're not going too far today, so we'll be all right. Wow.
That bird agrees. It is a brilliant evening out here. We've just been ghosting along. Wind's picking up again a little here. And we're just about 9 miles to Dungeness Spit, so should get there before dark. Real fun, real sweet. Good way to leave town. Such a nice night out here. The sun's just been popping in and out of this cloud bank here, and we're just a few miles off of the spot we're going to anchor here in the lee of Dungeness Spit. I guess so. All right, we're coming in our anchored spot here in Dungeness Spit. We're in the big bight or bay of Dungeness Spit right now, and just on one last tack here. I think it'll be you can't see too much on the camera here. Maybe you can see my face a little bit. Here, I'll light it up with the iPad. There we go. Hi. But we're sailing at 6 knots straight towards the spit. We're gonna sail on anchor here. It's gonna be not capturable with camera, but maybe we'll just keep it rolling. You can hear the sounds, folks. Enjoy that. All right. Okay. Pretty soon we'll be losing the Genoa, so I'll take care of the halyard if you want, or the sheet if you want to take care of the hauling it in. I'm gonna round her up and drop the mainsail. I'll tell you when to go. Okay, go ahead. All right, that was fun sailing on anchor at just the tiny last bit of the day, and it went really well. We rolled in the Genoa, and then it was just perfect. We had a little bit of room to sail with the main off the wind a bit, slow down. We were going about 2 knots, and then drop the main. As soon as the boat had slowed down to about a knot, Kat started putting the anchor out, and that was it. And the strategy I like to do when sailing onto anchor is to get it down to the ground a little bit more, and then just wait for the boat to start backing off on it, so you don't leave a big pile of chain on the seafloor that might get tangled up with itself or with the anchor, which would make it drag, of course. So, yeah.
Totally. We have these nice new additions here too, of Dodger lights that we can move around, and it is so sweet to just not have to go straight to headlamps and just be able to see what we're doing.
So that's it. That's the night. We're anchored here at Dungeness Spit. It's gonna be nice to wake up in the daylight and see where we are, because I can't see anything. So we'll probably go for a little walk in the morning. In the meantime, we're gonna go relax and enjoy the cozy cabin. So that's it for tonight. Bye. She's still getting used to this vlogging thing.
Yeah, bye for now.
There it is. BFN.
Coming up next time on Sailing Sea Dream of Clyde, Before we set sail for the day, we check out the Dungeness Spit lighthouse, pick up some beach garbage, and then sail off the anchor. After the 20-mile run to Port Angeles, we pick up Kevin at the ferry and get to work on some maintenance, including finally installing the new Lexan windows. After a couple nights in Port Angeles, we set sail up the Wannafuca Strait in a beautiful evening. While we had tide in our favor, the next day was completely calm, so we ended up motoring quite a ways to Nia Bay, where we needed to get to for a nice weather window that was opening up. Thanks so much for watching Sailing Cedar McClyde. If you enjoy these episodes, please do hit the subscribe and like button. And if you really love our videos, check out our Patreon page where you can get exclusive updates and other content while directly supporting the channel. Bye for now!